Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. Hey, family. Hey, butterflies. Hey, newbies. Thank you for checking in. That's right. Your sister is doing another one for you. I've already have done Aquarius, Pisces, and Aries for this new year. Now I'm getting ready to do one for Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer. What you can be expecting for this new year. This is a collective, reading. So keep that in mind. Take that which resonate. Whatever come out in this reading, this is for entertainment purpose only. Okay, but I am led by the spirit, and there are timelines to my reading. So keep this in mind. Okay, I'm here for you, and whatever come out of this reading, take that which resonate, and take those limits and make lemonades with them. You hear me? So I love your family, and let's get started with this reading. There are timelines to these readings, so I'm going to start with Taurus. Taurus is from April the 20th to May the 20th. I'm going to be using for Taurus the Shadow deck, the Divine Shadow Self Oracle. This will let me know about those shadow aspects of of you. I did meditate, and the Spirit wanted me to use this oracle deck for many of you to help you this new year as far as anything that you may be struggling with when it comes to those issues that you put on the back burner, and you could be ignoring it, and many of you are healing from those shadow aspects of you, so kudos for you. So with that being said, this is what you're going to be seeing when it comes to this deck. Also, it let me know anything about anyone that you're allowed to get close to you that can be um affecting you in a negative way. It will come out also when I'm using this deck as well. Okay, so keep that in mind. You may not be experiencing these characteristics now, but in the coming days and weeks ahead, okay, leading to this new year, many of you could be operating some of these shadow aspects. I'm also going to be using, if many of you been seeking answers, it's going to come out today. Please know that. I'm going to be using the angel message oracle for many of you. And lastly, I'm going to be using the psychic tarot deck, oracle deck, shall I say, for many of you. Okay? So sit back, relax, and let's get started with Taurus. So, hello, Taurus. Hello, hello, hello. Well, Taurus, first out, I'm going to start off with the Divine Shadow Self Oracle for you. Okay? So let me get situated and we'll get started. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up. It supports my channel. I appreciate you. Sharing is caring. So let me set my thoughts and intentions on Taurus. What can many of you expect this new year of 2023 coming in? I get it. Okay, hold on. I dropped the card. Okay. None of these are in divine order, so keep that in mind. And pay attention to repeated messages, okay? There's something to it. Now I'm going to be honest with you. Even though all of this is allegedly, we know this. It's not facts. It's for entertainment purpose only. But please know the spirit be talking. And this is a collective reading. So all of you are not going to apply for all of you. You know your personal situation. You know what's going on with you, in the present. But like I said, there are timelines to my reading, so a lot of these have to play out. But I'm going to say this real quick. I don't like what I'm seeing. And I don't like to be Debbie Downer, bringing like bad news or anything like that. But anyway, a lot of you, you definitely gonna be experiencing some challenges this new year. Let me just say that, okay? I mean, who doesn't experience challenges? So that being said, um, that what you don't like, just don't receive it, okay? I'm gonna keep it moving. But if this is for somebody, because the Most High God already knew you was gonna, watch these this video anyway. So let's get with this reading, Taurus. I have here defensive. Anytime I think about the word defensive, I think about someone that's been accused of wrongdoing. I think about the word accusations. So either that's going to be many of you coming off defensive, or somebody else will be coming off defensive due to you accusing them of wrongdoing. Okay? So I have here defensive. I have here closed off for many of you. And it's pretty much shutting down emotionally. You don't want to be bothered. Um, you're not letting anybody in. You could be hurting, experiencing grief, whatever the case may be. But many of you are going to be experiencing this closed off. Many of you are dealing with abandonment issues. And this could stem from childhood. Or, when you look back over your life, you think about how you go from one relationship to the next. People just don't stay, you just don't stay in relationships that long. Let me just say that, okay? And that could be affecting many of you. And if this is the case, many of you need to heal from this. Let me just say that because it can cause you to be very controlling and very domineering as well. Now, if many of you are not resonating with this, it could be somebody close to you, like a lover or a spouse, that significant other that could be carrying these traits. Because any of these traits can affect you in a negative way. Next, we have blindsided. Many of you need to stay focused. Many of you are very distracted. For this to happen right here, I definitely see many of you being very not focused, okay, very distracted. But many of you could be cut off guard in some kind of way, being blindsided. That's how people are able to get over on you, when you're blindsided. Next, we have drowning. No, I'm not going to say this. Many of you are going to drown this year. No. I think about drowning in your emotions, being upset, being overwhelmed. Okay. So this piece is about drowning in your emotions. Many of you are going to be experiencing some kind of trauma. It can be due to anything. It can be due to a breakup. For some people that's trauma. This can be due to God forbid, but this could be due to a death in the family, um, or a loved one, somebody that you know is close to you. There are all kind of trauma. You have emotional trauma, but anyway, the word trauma is coming out. Next, I have coercion. So this could be many of your energy, pretty much using force or threats, trying to get someone to see things your way. Or maybe many of you have experienced this already. If not, let things play out. Next, I have internalizing. You're taking things in. For many of you, I have ambivalence. Just pretty much having mixed feelings. You're not quite sure about your feelings. This could be very personal. Many of you are in the dark. I'm not gonna say you're a dark individual, okay? But many of you are in the dark about something. Somebody's keeping something from you. You're not receiving clarity about something, about someone or a situation. Many of you are in the dark. Next, I have callous. Many of you are not showing any kind of emotion, like you're numb. Many of you are coming up as a bully, or maybe someone's coming up as a bully towards many of you. This can be, due to those that you're allowed to get close to you, somebody on the job, whatever the case may be. But many of you are going to be experiencing this new year. And then also this could be many of you, your energy. Next, I have vindictive. Many of you could be coming out being very vindictive this new year, or somebody may be very vindictive, about you. Okay, it could be coming off this way about you. But this is someone that could be very spiteful also. A person like this like to get revenge. Now, some of these energy can be many of you, your past energies, okay? Many of you are operating in these energies, these shadow energies of yourself, and many of you are going to be overcoming them this new year. So I didn't say that earlier, but I'm saying it now, okay? I have the word drugs. Many of you are dibbling dabbling in drugs. I can get this if you're smoking weed. I can get this if you are abusing prescription drugs, or it could be illegal drugs. Many of you are coming out very evasive. Um, this is someone who avoids commitment. If this is not many of you, maybe you're with a partner that's not committed. Okay. But anyway, this is the energy of many of you, very evasive, not committed. So you could have maybe more than one partner. Maybe you are in a platonic relationship, or maybe you are in a entanglement. That's a difficult, complicated relationship that can be quite toxic. Next, many of you are coming off like this, bias. Many of you are feeling like this, empty. For whatever reason, many of you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. You're in a dark place. You could be also experiencing depression as well. Yep, many of you are feeling helpless. If you're not presently feeling like this, I always say let things play out. Many of you, this could be a lot of your energy being very disrespectful. Or maybe someone will be coming off like this towards you this new year. And many of you are carrying this energy right here, being very ignorant. And this could be due to not using your intuition. You're going by what you think and not what you know. Okay? Also making foolish decisions that are not for your highest good. All right. Like I said, this is not all of you. Okay? This is a collective reading. Take it which resonate. And don't forget this reading because I'm going to leave it up. Oh, yes, indeed. I'm going to leave it up the whole year. So you would know if any of this materialized. You would know it. And remember, a lot of these are not many of your shadow energy. A lot of these could be someone that you're allowed to get close to you that could be affecting you in a negative way that can have you feeling like this, helpless. See what I'm saying? That will have you feeling like this, empty, disrespectful. You get it? All right, let's move on, Taurus. I'm going to use the shadow. I'm sorry, the psychic oracle deck. And just know we all have those shadow aspects of us. Some are more severe than others. Let me just say that. But it's a matter of, owning your ish, owning it, face it, and heal and release. That's what it's all about. Okay? That's how we grow. But we don't grow when we ignore it and put it on the shelf like it's going to work itself out. But anyway, let's continue. All right, this is a collective reading for Taurus. Divine Spirit, what can Taurus expect this new year coming in? This collective reading for Taurus. What can the collective group of Taurus expect this new year coming in? What's going on with many of them? All right, let's get with it, Taurus. Let's get with it. Now, this is in divine order, so keep that in mind, okay? And when you're looking at this spread right here, this oracle spread, anything that you resonate with, when it comes to my readings, a lot of times messages repeat themselves, okay? So keep that in mind. Okay, now up here, this is upside down, Taurus. This is fulfillment of wishes. This is someone that's believing for something. And had this card been up where I would say, you know what, the God of the universe is granting your wish. It's coming. Now, that which many of you are believing for, upside down does not mean it's denied. It just means not yet. There's a season for everything. So the God universe is not granting many of you of your wishes for whatever reason. This represents not now. Okay? Not now, as far as your wishes being granted. There's a season for everything. Next is upside down. This represents power. This is someone that's exercising their power. They're in control of their life. Many of you are going to be feeling like this, powerless. Remember I used that shadow deck and it said helpless? Remember that? That's someone who's feeling powerless. Many of you are going to be feeling like this within the coming days and weeks ahead. Definitely this new year for whatever reason. Okay? Something or someone's going to have many of you feeling like this. All right. Next is upside down. I can't make this up. This is for many of you, okay? Not all of you, but for many of you. Take that which resonate. For many of you, you're going to be feeling like this new year coming in. If you're not feeling like this now, many of you will be. This is hope. Had this card been upward, I would say Taurus. Many of you are going to be feeling very hopeful. And many of you will be feeling hopeful. Let me just say that. But many of you won't be feeling hopeful. Something's going to have you feeling like this. Next, this is upside down. Taurus. This is moving on. This is someone who has a decision to make and they made their decision. They moved on, whether it be a situation or a relationship. Many of you are like this. You change your mind. It just depends on what this means to you. It can be a situation or a relationship. If you decide to move on, you change your mind. It can be a job. But many of you have not made that move yet. You have not moved on yet. And it looks like this year, many of you are going to stay put when it comes to your uh, situation for whatever reason. And remember, it can be a relationship, it can be a job, a situation. But many of you are not moving on. Next, we have deception and envy. Now, many of you are being very secretive. Many of you are full of deception. You know, I think about not being transparent for whatever reason. For whatever reason, it could be due to some cheating. Just saying. Um, Cause I mean, when I did a shadow deck, I was seeing a lot of deceptive energy in that deck as well. Okay, so I remember seeing, you know, the not committed card and mixed feelings. See, all that came out when I used a shadow deck. This just backs me up. Now, it could be also many of you have someone around you that's not being 100, if you know what I mean, okay? How well do you know the individuals that are around you, are they telling you everything you need to know? So I'm gonna read this, take that which resonate. Because for many of you, you know, the message is upward because it came out upward. And for many of you, it's probably upside down. So I'm gonna read the entirety message so many of you can receive clarity today. And the good thing about these kind of readings, at least you are ahead of the game. At least you have an idea if something pop off in your life. You already have an idea of what's going on, okay? Now have ears to hear, Taurus. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. This card comes at a time when individuals or conditions aren't what they appear to be. How well do you really know the people around you? Are they telling you everything you need to know? In business, make sure you gather all the necessary information so that you're aware of and understand all the facts before continuing. You work hard, don't let others take from you what is rightfully yours. Unfortunately, some people may be envious of your accomplishments. This card also represents a time of sudden and unexpected changes, or when plans that you're undertaking may not turn out exactly the way you envision. Have a plan B as a fallback strategy to prevent future problems. Use this card as a reminder to be prepared. It's better to be safe than sorry. So you hear that? But also it speaks about deception. And anytime I see the word deception, I think about someone being very secretive. And then you also see the word envy. So many of you probably have somebody around you that's very envious of you also. But I'm sure you know that already. Next, Taurus, your next card's upside down. This is the base chakra card. It represents I have. I'm sure many of you, your thought process is, oh, I have, which is a good thing, okay? But many of you are feeling like this, I don't have. You don't have what? It just depends on what this means to you. But it would be very beneficial for many of you if you change your mindset, whether you have it or not, and say, I have, okay? Because our thoughts are energy. And a lot of times with that which we don't want, we end up attracting more of it to us. Because that energy is so strong when you think about what you don't want. Try to, you know, renew your mind and get your thoughts being positive. Let your mind think positive. Let that work in your favor, because if not, that which you are feeling, you're going to get more of it. And this speaks about, not speaks about, but I think about, the lack mentality. Okay, whether you have it or not, you still have to think abundance. But anyway, this means something to somebody. Many of you are giving up. I don't have money, resources, a lover, a spouse, whatever the case may be, children. And this card is upside down. Now remember we saw that card? Ignorance. Upside down represents ignorance. This is the intuition card. It's someone that's tapping in, that's getting their answers from within. Okay, this is someone who's being very foolish. And I think about someone that they do a whole lot of reacting. They don't stop, think, and reflect. Okay, many of you need to get to that place of stop thinking and reflecting first. Don't just react, because that's being very foolish. We all been there before. Let me just say that, okay? So, according to the spirit, many of you need to start operating, use your intuition this new year, as far as how you're moving out here, okay? To make better decisions, better judgment. I'm definitely using good judgment, because many of you are not using good judgment. Okay, your next card, Taurus, is upside down. This is the throat chakra card. This represents I speak. This is the one who's speaking up, exercising the throat chakra. Many of you are not exercising your throat chakra. Many of you are not speaking up about something. Remember, I used that shadow card and it said closed off. That's the one that's shutting down. They're not letting anybody in. Remember that? This is going to be many of you this new year. For whatever reason, you're just going to get to that place of, whatever's going on with you, you're not going to be speaking up about it. It's like you're hush hush about something. Many of you are going to be experiencing memories of love. It can be due to someone could have passed, in your family. It could be a close friend. It can be due to a separation, a breakup. Okay. So many of you are going to be experiencing this, just reflecting on someone that you care about, probably reminiscing on the past. And then think about also attending a vigilant as well. Many of you are going to be experiencing this. This is upside down. This is spiritual union. This is someone that you have a bond with, a spiritual bond with, a spiritual union. This can be a, parent. This can be a, family member, period. Okay, a family member, period. It can be a family member, a parent, it can be that husband. It can be, your children. It can be, um, a ex, okay, a boyfriend. It can be a childhood friend, but it's someone that you have a bond with. Upward represents harmony, okay, close bond, harmony. Many of you, for whatever reason, whomever this individual means to many of you are going to lose that bond with that individual. And all that I could think of is due to disagreement, a fight, some kind of separation. I think about, or it can be due to transitioning. Okay, it could be either one. Your next card is upside down. This is a sacrifice card. I'm going to read up on it. I think about self-sacrifice, but not in a good way. Okay, not in a good way at all. Now, this card upside down, it can also represent when it's upside down, it can represent due to being foolish, those of you allowed to get close to you. I think about that, inner circle. Anybody you're allowed to get close to you, that's the only way they can sabotage you, okay? So be mindful who you're allowed to get close to you, okay? Because we did see the deception and envy card. And, I think about the word envy. But I'm going to read up on this card, okay? Because it has additional meaning. So give me a minute. Powerful achievements are usually born as a result of great sacrifice. This card represents self sacrifice in a time when you should look around your life to see what needs to be released. Excuse me, by surrendering and letting go, there will be more room to receive. The reward for this are transformation, wisdom, gratitude, and enlightenment. This card signifies that there's a situation happening or about to occur in your life and you can control the outcome. This would be a good moment to pause, rest, have patience, reflect, and meditate. Use your intuition. If you're not doing that, this would be a good moment to pause, rest, have patience. I'm sorry, let me read it again. This would be a good moment to pause, rest, have patience, reflect, and meditate. It would be wise to stand back so you can learn to look at events with a more understanding, intuitive eye. Try to view people issues from a problem Try to view people issues or problems from a different perspective. If you can achieve this, it will have a profound effect on your soul and your life. The sacrifice card can also symbolize a period of transition or change. The solution you seek may be slow in coming, but it could be necessary to live into the answers. Accept the things that you can't control, heal, and leave the past behind. Move towards your future and watch for new doors opening and paths that are being shown to you. And also, the upside down represents the hangman. Not for all of you, but you can't say that you didn't see this reading, okay? And lastly, is upside down, Taurus. This is a transformation card. I think about spiritual transformation. I think about one cycle, moving from one cycle to the next. I think about growth, okay? Spiritual growth, stagnation, okay. Your card, many of you, your card came upside down, so this is speaks about many of you being stuck in your old ways, okay. Many of you are not growing. You're stuck in your old ways, and that can be due to relationships too. Many of you probably are in relationships that's going in circles to nowhere. You're stuck and you enjoy being stuck. Look at this. And if really you thought about moving on, you changed your mind for whatever reason. But anyway, upside down represents stuck in an old cycle. Now, what many of you saw here that you don't like, you don't have to receive it. But these messages to come out, nothing is set in stone. The past cannot be changed, but the future can. Because especially, when you're checking out somebody like myself that's laying these messages out, because all of these are not for all of you, okay? But many of you can relate to a lot of these messages now, and then a lot of these haven't even played out yet for this new year, okay? But anyway, I always say take those lemons and make lemonades with it. It's all about adjusting and renewing your mind, okay? And if you have been, moving out here kind of reckless by, reacting all the time, try to get to that place of, stilling your mind, get quiet, stop, reflect, and meditate, okay? Don't just overreact so much. Don't, try to tap in to get your answers. Be still and stop overreacting so much. Because whatever is going on with many of you, the spirit saying you're being very foolish as far as how you're moving out here. Now, lastly, Taurus, let's see here. Only you know what many of you have been believing for, what's going on with you. It's a collective reading, angel answer message. That's what the spirit has to say for many of you. Because many of you already know a question that you won't answer. Okay, let's get with it. Okay. I was trying to tap in with spirit because a lot of these came out upside down, and I wanted to know should I read them as upside down, but I got the answer no. Just read it the way it is. Okay, Taurus. The situation will improve. So many of you, whatever this means to you, the spirit is saying your situation will improve. But many of you, your answer is compromise. This could be in your relationships or on your job or just dealing with people, period. Compromise. But many of you ask for help from others. I feel like many of you are trying to handle a matter on your own, and you may be due to your pride, stubborn, and you're not seeking help from anybody. But the spirit is saying, ask for help from others. But many of you, whatever this means to you, your answer is reconsider. And you know what? I thought about that moving on card. If many of you were planning on moving on, the spirit is saying reconsider. Who knows? Maybe you're fed up on that job. But the spirit is saying, hold what you got, reconsider. Okay, next, for many of you, it has here take action. And remember, we saw the throat chakra card. Many of you have a tight lip, you're not speaking up. This says take actions. For many of you, if you are believing for something, the spirit says if you believe. So try not to be doing a whole lot of doubting, self-doubting, and procrastinating. For many of you, you got the answer abundance. Now, abundance means many, many things to many people. Let me just say that. But for many of you, abundance. Next, within the next few weeks. Now, many of you been expecting to hear from somebody, expecting to receive something, expecting an answer. The spirit is saying within the next few weeks. And maybe many of you expecting for somebody to show up. Many of you, I have asked your angels So for you to be doing this, meditate, meditate, and ask your angels. Okay. I feel like many of you do meditate, but many of you don't. A great deal of you don't practice that. It's one thing to pray, but we meditate to go inside so we can get the answers. Okay. Many of you be assertive. Many of you, the answer is no. And remember, we saw that card that I used. Um, which card was it? I forgot, family. It was a card about something that maybe you were believing for, and it came out upside down, like you were saying, no, not now. But for many of you, the answer is no. I think it was a universal card, I believe. And lastly, many of you are going to be receiving a opportunity. It's going to present itself to you this year. So that's cool, Taurus. So be on the lookout for that. But now a lot of time when the opportunity shows up, you can't be distracted. You have to be focused. A lot of time we miss on opportunities because we distracted on the wrong things or on the wrong individuals. So make sure you're focused, okay? Because you want to align yourself up so when opportunities show up, you can jump on it. You never know. It might be a word of mouth. Somebody talking about a better paying job or something pertaining to business, some new project. But anyway, thank you, Taurus, for allowing me to do this reading for you. Thank you for trusting me to do this reading for you. Take that which resonate, and remember, things have to play out. Okay, I'm gonna leave this reading up a whole the rest of this year. So yeah, feel free to come back, and so you can look back on it and say, "Oh yeah, she did say that. Oh yeah, that did happen." Okay, and let me know down below. Love you, Taurus. Bye. Alrighty, next Gemini, Gemini. Hello, Gemini. Hello, hello, hello. Let's get started with your reading. First, I'm going to start off, Gemini. I'm going to start off using the Divine Shadows of Oracle. This will help me get an idea about those shadow aspects of you that it's pretty much let me know about those issues many of you currently are dealing with or that you have healed from. It's either one or the other this new year. Okay. Now, a lot of these shadow aspects can be anyone that you like to get close to you that can affect you in a negative way. This is a collective reading. Let's get started with Gemini. Collective reading for Gemini. Collective reading for Gemini. Gemini is start May the 21st and June the 20th. Collective reading for Gemini. Collective reading for Gemini. Hold up. Now I know this is. I need to shuffle this again. Hold up, cause I'm getting the same messages that came out that I did for Taurus. Hold up, and y'all saw me shuffle. Let me do this again. Hold on. Hold up. Collective reading for Gemini. 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 All right, Gemini. We back on track. I was still dealing with those old energies of Taurus. Okay. Okay. And some of them messages came right back out. But this is a collective reading, so let's get with it. Many of you are going to be experiencing being passive aggression. Either you are presently carrying this energy or characteristic as being passive aggression, or this could be an energy that you probably have healed from or gotten past this kind of shadow energy. Passive aggression. Excuse me. Next, I have entanglement for you, Gemini. Many of you are carrying the energy of shadow energy of entanglement. This speaks about a complicated, difficult relationship that can be quite toxic. So many of you are in very toxic, complicated relationships. And I think about a three-party can be involved. Many of you, unbeknownst to you, it's either you have a significant other on the side, or whomever that you are involved with could have a significant other on the other side, if you know what I mean. But if that's not the case, the relationship that you're in is quite toxic, period. Okay? And if you're not experiencing this now, be mindful who you get involved with this new year. Next, many of you are going to be experiencing being very distracted, not focused. Next, I have brutality. Next, I have insecurities. And remember, this is a collective reading. All right, Gemini, I got the word gossip. So I don't know if you doing I don't know if this is you doing the gossip or somebody gonna be gossiping about you, or somebody might put a little bug in your ear, if you know what I mean. Gossiping about somebody, and they're in your ear about somebody. But anyway, something about gossip. All right, many of you are gonna feel like a victim this new year, carrying that victim mentality. Oh, woe is me. Many of you are coming off arrogance. Many of you are going to be feeling regret this new year. And a lot of these you probably already experiencing now, okay? Many of you are going to be feeling helpless and powerless for whatever reason. Many of you feel awkward, or you see yourself as very awkward. I have coercion. This is using force or threats, trying to get someone to see things your way or to do something. Many of you are going to be experiencing trauma. It can be, it's all kind of, traumas. It can be mental, emotional, physical. Many of you feeling like this. You're feeling hopeless. You're not in a good place. I'm sure many of you probably gonna be experiencing depression. Many of you disrespectful, or you may receive this type of negative energy from somebody else towards you this new year. Many of you coming out very vindictive and may want to, get somebody back due to revenge, as far as how they, made you feel, how they hurt you. Many of you could be experiencing this bullying. Now, also with this vindictive, this could be the energy around many of you. Maybe whoever you're not get close to you, it could be that friend, that platonic relationship, lover, whatever the case may be. They can be feeling like this about you. But vindictive is showing up, okay, and many of you, your spreads. Bully. I have here drowning. I think about drowning your emotions, being upset, overwhelmed. Many of you are going to be feeling closed off, shutting down, not letting nobody in, not sharing your thoughts and your feelings with anyone, not speaking up. And many of you are going to be feeling defensive. And for you to be feeling defensive, obviously there are going to be some accusations. You get it? People talking, accusations. Then if you're going to be feeling defensive. And if this is not many of you, your energy, it can be many of you, Gemini, having accusations towards somebody, and they can be feeling defensive towards you. Okay. But anyway, it's all due to this right here, gossip. Okay. All right, Gemini. I'm getting ready real quick. I'm going to use the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck. What's presently going on with many of you? This is a collective reading for Gemini. What's presently going on with Gemini? Collective reading for Gemini. Collective reading for Gemini this new year of 2023. Collective reading for Gemini this new year of 2023. All right, Gemini. Just take that which resonate. I'm going to be leaving this um video reading up for the entire rest of the year. So feel free to come back, look back on it, because a lot of this many of you, you're gonna just do like this to it, and then of course for many of you, when a lot of this plays out, come back here and let your sister know. Wow, I can overlook that message right there, but it ended up playing out. I see it now going on in my life. But anyway, let's get with it. Now, this is in divine order, Gemini. Your first one is prosperity begins. It's pretty much what this seed means to many of you. This seed can be a baby in somebody's oven. This seed could mean that's growing. Let me just say that, because upper represents growing. This can be a seed of a baby. Let me just say that. This can be a seed of, many of you been putting hard work in at work. So I think about, bonuses, raises. But this speaks about money coming, period. So many of you, your money is going to be growing this new year. Okay. So kudos for you. Prosperity begins. And we know tax season is here. Hello, somebody. Don't forget about your sister now. Thank you. A little, tip here. I appreciate it. But anyway, you know whose you are. Many of you, prosperity begins. Whatever this seed means to you is growing. It can be a business, it can be a project, or it can be a baby. Next, upside down, Gemini. This is victory and success. This speaks about good news on the way due to um a difficult period. Okay, due to the end of a difficult period. Let me just say that. But for many of you, your card is upside down. Now, this might be the case for many of you. Okay, good news due to the end of a difficult period. But this came upside down. So the majority of you are going to be like this. You're still going through the motions. You're still, whatever's going on in your personal life, you're still going through it. Okay. And many of you are expecting good news. I don't want to say it's not coming, but for many of you, you're still going through the motions. Okay. You're experiencing some challenges right now. Next, we got patience. For many of you, you're being very patient. You're looking at that seed and it is growing. See that? That seed is growing. You're looking at it. And it means something to you now. And it's growing slowly. For many of you, this is upside down. This is emotional loss. I think about many of you experiencing some kind of grief, It can be due to a breakup, grief due to a loved one or a friend could have transitioned, whatever the case may be. But this is emotional loss. Maybe you experiencing some kind of pain. Now, upward represents you holding on to it. Okay, you hold on to the grief and the pain. Many of you are going to be releasing this new year. Okay, you're going to be releasing it, whatever it was that you were holding on to. Pretty much getting past it and moving forward this new year. Next, I have awareness is upside down, Gemini. Hey, this card being upward, I would say many of you are operating in awareness, but many of you are very distracted. You're not focused. See, you're not focused. Had this card been upward, I would say many of you are focused and you are aware of your surroundings and you are aware of what's going on around you. But many of you are not. And upside down can also represent many of you are in the dark about something also. You're not receiving clarity about something or someone. Okay? Many of you are in the dark about something or a situation. Next, we have um, solitude, Gemini. Your card's upside down. This lets me know, had this card been upward, I would say you coming out of solitude. And I think about for many of you are experiencing depression. Okay, you're not in a good place at all. And if you're not experiencing this now, things have to play out. Okay, I don't wish this for many of you at all, but life happens. Okay, but anyway, many of you are still inside. You're in solitude. You spend a lot of long time, but you're inside, pretty much isolating yourself. Many of you, whatever this means to you now, this came out upside down, Gemini. This is positive movement forward, and this can be pertaining to any situation. Your love life. You know, this is very personal. This is very personal. It just depends on what's going on with many of you this new year. But the spirit is saying there will be no positive movement forward. It can be a relationship. It can be a relationship that you have outgrown or it's going in circles to nowhere. But the spirit is saying there will be no positive movement in the situation. I'll put this here. Pull up 1, 2, 3. I'll put it here. Okay, next is upside down. This is partnership and alliance. Had this card been upward, Gemini, I would say, this can be a marriage. This can be, called marriage is a partnership. This can be actually business, relate to business, pertaining to business. Let me just say that. But this speaks about partnership and forming an alliance with somebody. Upward represents harmony. You know, you in good standing with the individual. Okay, everything is everything. But for many of you, lack of harmony. I see here disagreements. You're not getting along. You're not seeing eye to eye. It just depends on, what this means to you, Gemini. Like I said, it can be your significant other. It can be, your spouse, your business partner. But something is going on here. Whomever you form this alliance with, things are not working out. It's lack of harmony. Okay, next I have conflict and defeat. This just lets me know that many of you are going to be experiencing a conflict this new year. And a lot of this probably have already happened. Okay, so y'all can let me know down below, and I know this is very personal, okay? I know this, but you still can let me know down below, you know, whether this reading has really resonated with many of you. And remember, anything that's not resonating right now, things have to play out. Because this year is not over with yet. But many of you, you're gonna be experiencing some kind of conflict this new year. Okay, it can be a verbal conflict. It doesn't have to be physical. But upper represents, you came out, no, you're not scarred in any kind of way. Okay, you pretty much defeat your foe. Okay, but many of you, you're gonna feel defeated. You're gonna feel very defeated. Next, we have movement, choices, and decisions. This let me know, Gemini, that many of you are going to be making some bold moves this new year. And look here, you have options, and you are looking at your options because you have a decision to make. You're looking at all those choices. Look at that. So anyway, many of you this new year are going to be making, like I said, bold moves, and And then, like I said, maybe you have options, and you have a decision to make. Okay. And who knows? It could be, you're looking at for another job. Maybe you have options when it comes to, um, trying to find somebody new. Or maybe you already have somebody on the side. Who knows? But anyway, somebody know what this means. You're trying to make a decision what you want to do. All right, for many of you, Gemini, this is upside down. This is the heart chakra card. When it's upward, this let me know that many of you, your heart chakra is open. And not only that, you're saying I love something or someone. Many of you, you're shutting down that heart chakra. And also you're saying I don't love. It just depends on what this means to you. It can be I don't love this situation that I'm in. I don't love this individual. I don't love this job. It just depends on what this means to you. Next, Gemini, this is upside down. This is the stand your ground message. And it goes hand in hand with this. Remember, I told you many of you are going to be in a conflict? Well, this speaks about a conflict also. When this card is upward, this lets me know that many of you are going to be standing your ground and you're going to be exercising your power. Many of you are going to be feeling powerless, or shall I say, overpowered. Okay. Um, like I said, it just depends on what's going on with the many of you behind the scenes. But many of you are going to be feeling powerless. You're not going to feel like you're able to stand your ground for whatever reason. I'm going to read up on this, okay? So many of you can receive clarity. Give me a minute, Gemini. I have to find the page. I'm gonna get it. This card comes at a time when you're being tested and challenged. There may be fierce competition. Remember entanglement? Remember the entanglement? Okay. There may be fierce competition and there may be fierce competition and potential rivalry surrounding you in your personal or business life, but know that you have the strength and inner courage to stand your ground no matter how hard or formidable things may appear. Don't surrender or give up the control. Many of you are going to back off. Many of you are going to back off. Instead of you standing your ground, you're going to back off. It just depends on what this means to you. But the spirit is saying, don't surrender and give up the control you have. Be brave and stay true to your core life values and belief system, which are your best allies and will help you move forward. It's important to remain clear and focused, for you may have to stand alone and defend your convictions to the end. Maintain your health and stay strong so that you have an ample supply of energy to endure anything, as this could be a long and endurous yet untimely, hard won victory. So not only does upside down represent, you're feeling powerless, but see, many of you might give up the fight, and it doesn't have to be a physical fight, it can be something pertaining to, court, you know, maybe if you could be experiencing, somebody could be present, I mean, it can be due to anything, to where you're gonna have to defend your conviction. That's what I'm trying to make, okay? But it can also relate to court. If somebody might be taking y'all to court or whatever, but don't surrender, okay? The spirit is saying stand your ground, stand your ground, because many of you are going to be feeling like this, defeated, and this could be due to you giving up the fight. And none of this is in divine order. Keep that in mind. Now, next we have foundation and achievement. This is many of you, Gemini. You're feeling very inspired by family. And also, this could be something that many of you want. You want the full package. You want the house, the spouse, and the children. Okay. Maybe this is many of you your dream. Maybe many of you are working towards this right here, foundation and achievement. Okay. Lastly, if many of you have been seeking answers, go ahead, clear your mind, pause, pause this video, clear your mind, and whatever answer that you are believing for, you're getting ready to get them, okay? Especially if you are, waiting to hear some news from somebody, you want to know if you're going to get a raise this year, whatever your answer is, go ahead, pause it, and then say it within yourself, okay? That which you are believing for, and let's see what Spirit has to say about that. Collective angel message, angel answers for Gemini. Collective angel message 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 for Gemini. Okay. From what I'm seeing here, many of you need to build your faith up. Okay. And renew your minds. Stop, thinking so negative, and try to think more positive this new year. Okay. You'd be surprised how it can just shift, your reality in your favor. Okay. So I have here unlikely, unlikely. And this right here is just due to how you're moving out here, okay? Unlikely. No need to worry. So stop worrying so much. I know it's not easy, but stop worrying so much. Source, the Most High God got you, okay? Stop worrying so much because it's operating in unbelief. Within the next few months, so I think about many of you, if you were expecting to hear from somebody, you're expecting to receive something, whatever the case may be. Within the next few months, not the right time. So I think about many of you, if you are planning on leaving your job, you know, um, oh, should I, end this relationship? It just depends on whatever this means to you, okay? But it definitely something that's very significant. The spirit is saying not the right time. So maybe many of you probably planning on moving this year. Next, I have meditation brings the answers. So many of you need to start meditating. And for many of you, we saw unlikely, right? For many of you, the answer is no. The spirit is saying be assertive. The spirit is saying ask your angels. For many of you, the spirit is saying it's up to you. It's up to you when it comes to this so-called decision making. It's up to you. Get more information. So whatever this means to many of you, the spirit is saying get more information, especially when it comes to that gossip. Okay, get more information. Don't just take what somebody's saying and run with it. Get more information first. Okay, so you are receiving clarity. Remain positive. I told you, remain positive. You're going to have to if you're seeking positive, better changes this new year. Remain positive. And lastly, for many of you, Choose a new direction. Choose a new direction, family. And I think about, like, for instance, if you were planning on moving this year, right? And you're saying, you know what? I'm thinking about moving on the east side. Choose a new direction. Okay? Choose a new direction. All right, Gemini family. Thank you so much for trusting me to do this reading for you. It was a honor. Remember those things that you didn't like, it may not be you the spirit's talking about. There are a lot of Geminis. This is a collective reading, but take that which resonate. Because many of you were resonating with this reading. Please know that. And many of you, those things that came out that you wasn't like presently resonating with, well, you know what? This year is still going. So, we got days and weeks and months ahead. Okay. So keep that in mind. And I'm going to leave this up for the remainder of the year. So feel free to come back and see have any of this transpired in your world. And please remain positive, Gemini, okay? And watch how you're moving out here, please, and think positive. So, anyway, that's my reading for you, Gemini. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. Hit that like button if you resonated, and bye for now. And definitely subscribe, okay? Hit that notification so you know when I go live. You know when I go live as well as when I'm doing more readings like this. Hey, Cancer family. Hello, hello. Thank you for checking in. So, we're going to start off with you, Cancer. I'm going to be using the Divine Shadow Self Oracle. Let me see here. Cancer starts June 21st and July the 22nd. I'm going to start off using the Divine Shadow Self Oracle. This will let me know about those shadow aspects of you that you have healed from. Many of you are going to be healing this new year from a lot of these shadow aspects, and many of you are still, ignoring them. You're putting it on a shelf, like it's going to, work itself on out. Okay. Many of you, when it comes to these shadow aspects, can be due to whomever that's around you that could be influencing you in a negative way. It will come out here also. So keep that in mind. This is a collective reading. So keep that in mind, Cancer. Okay. Let's get started. And I'm sure many of you are resonating with some of these energies already. All right. Collective reading for Cancer. Collective reading for this new year for Cancer. Collective reading for this new year for Cancer. Collective reading for this new year for Cancer. Uh-oh. All right, Cancer. None of these are in divine order, okay? They're just random messages. Take them which resonate, and also pay attention to repeated messages as well. Collective reading for Cancer. Okay, let's get with it. And like I said, many of you have healed. Many of you are going to be healing from some of these shadow aspects of you. Okay, but many of you are definitely working on yourself. But many of you are not, you know, facing your issues. Many of you don't want to heal right now. So let's get with it. This is gossip. So many of you probably be doing a whole lot of this. Either you're gonna be gossiping about somebody, or somebody gonna be gossiping about you. It's one or the other. Okay. But I sense more than anything, many of you are going to be, experiencing this new year, gossip. Hearing a lot of gossip. Many of you are going to be operating in deception, being very secretive. Or you're going to be experiencing this new year. It could be somebody close to you that's not being transparent and they're full of deception. Many of you are going to be feeling like this, cold. I think about the word numbness as well, but also you could be dealing with a cold individual, someone that's not thoughtful. Many of you, selfishness. Many of you are going to be operating in ambivalence, having mixed feelings. I think about relationships. You're not really sure what you want. Many of you operate in insecurities. Many of you are going to be dealing with entanglement. And you probably already in an entanglement relationship. It's a complicated relationship that can be quite toxic. And it also speaks about, cheating as well. Either on your end, you're cheating, or whomever you are involved with is cheating. Or maybe the relationship is just quite toxic, period, and very unhealthy. Many of you are going to be coming out very vindictive. You want to get somebody back, get revenge, how they treated you. Many of you disrespectful, or this maybe how you're gonna be feeling this new year, as far as how somebody gonna be treating you. Many of you are gonna be feeling like this, jealousy. Or somebody gonna have you feeling like that. Many of you gonna be feeling this, regret. Many of you, arrogance. Many of you, victim. You're gonna be seeing yourself as a victim due to how somebody is treating you, making you feel. Many of you experiencing brutality. I think about abuse. Many of you are not focused. Many of you are going to be coming out, very distracted on the wrong things, or on the wrong individuals. And this can really throw you off big time because you're not focused. You're very distracted. Many of you are going to be feeling defensive, as though somebody's accusing you of wrongdoing. Or maybe you're going to be accusing somebody else of wrongdoing. Many of you are going to be experiencing trauma. Many of you, coercion. Using force or threats, trying to persuade someone to do something. This could be many of you, your energy, or somebody, coming off this way towards you. Many of you are going to be feeling awkward, or you see yourself as very awkward. And many of you are going to be feeling this new year helpless. You're not going to be operating your power, okay? You're not going to be in your power. You're going to feel powerless for some reason. And I feel like a lot of these are very, personal. Many of you are probably in abusive relationships, to where, somebody is being very disrespectful. Cancer. And it's playing a big part, deception. When I get this right here, I think about somebody as being very secretive. They're full of deception. This could be many of you, your energy, or someone that you'd like to get close to you is like this. It could be that spouse, that platonic relationship, that lover. Feel free to get back with me before this year ends. I'm gonna leave this reading up the remaining of the year. So feel free to come back and watch it as much as you like. So you can receive clarity, okay? The past cannot be changed, but the future can. Nothing is set in stone. Everything's about how we move out here, making a slight adjustments with our thinking more positive and moving more positive. Okay. Next, I'm going to be using the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck for you, Cancers. What can you expect this new year? What's presently going on with my Cancer collective family? What can my Cancer collective family expect this new year? Okay, they want to come out, so All right, Cancer, let's get started. Now, this is in divine order, okay? Just take that which resonate. And those things that you don't resonate with, just keep them in mind now, because you know you saw it. It may be for another collective group of many of you, but many of you, yeah, you can definitely resonate with these messages in the now, okay? And then we also have the coming days and weeks and months ahead, so keep that in mind. We're going to start off with, okay, remember that deception card. Remember that, and I use the shadow deck. See that? Came right back out. Deception and envy. So many of you are going to be operating in this, okay? Deception. If it's also having somebody that's envious of you, okay? But many of you is somebody outside of you that's full of deception. Many of you are in the dark about something, okay? It's somebody outside of many of you that you're allowed to get close to you. It can be a friend or a lover or a spouse, whatever the case may be, but somebody is very secretive, okay? Now, I'm going to read up on this for you. Have ears to hear. I read it already for another group. I'm gonna read it again for you, so you all can receive clarity on it. Okay. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. This card comes at a time when individuals or conditions aren't what they appear to be. How well do you really know the people around you? Are they telling you everything you need to know? In business, make sure you gather all the necessary information so that you're aware of and understand all the facts before continuing. You work hard. Don't let others take from you what is rightfully yours. Unfortunately, some people may be envious of your accomplishments. You hear that, Cancer? This card also represents a time of sudden and unexpected changes, or when plans that you're undertaking may not turn out exactly the way you envision. Have a plan B as a fallback strategy to prevent future problems. Use this card as a reminder to be prepared. It's better to be safe than sorry. Do you hear that, Cancer? So keep that in mind, okay? As you move this new year, okay, uh, keep three eyes open, okay? I'm gonna say four eyes open. Your two main eyes, keep that open. Your third eye open, and also your special eye in the back. And don't be so distracted to where somebody can trip up on you, if you know what I mean. Okay, next Cancer. This is upside down. This is transformation. This speaks about, you know, spiritual, how many of you are growing in that area. But many of you are not. Okay. Many of you are stuck in your old ways, your old patterns for whatever reason. Okay. Not all of you now, but many of you can relate to this. Many of you are stuck in your old ways. You still operate in that old cycle. But there is some of you, you're growing spiritually, okay? Next, we have the sacrifice card. I think about self sacrifice. I think about many of you holding on to something or someone that no longer serve you, okay? I'm going to read up on this card next. And also, many of you are with individuals that no longer serve you, but you're still holding on to them. And many of you are putting others before yourself, denying yourself. The powerful achievements are usually born as a result of great sacrifice. This card represents self sacrifice in a time when you should look around your life to see what needs to be released. By surrendering and letting go, there will be more room to receive. The reward for this are transformation, wisdom, gratitude, and enlightenment. This card signifies that there's a situation happening or about to occur in your life and you can't control the outcome. This would be a good moment to pause, rest, have patience, reflect, and meditate. It would be wise to stand back so you can learn to look at events with a more understanding, intuitive eye. Try to view people, issues, or problems from a different perspective. If you can achieve this, it will have a profound effect on your soul and your life. The sacrifice card can also symbolize a period of transition and change. The solution you seek may be slow in coming, for it could be necessary to live into the answers. Accept the things that you can control, heal, and leave the past behind. Move towards your future and watch for new doors opening and paths that are being shown to you. Also, upside down represents hangman. Okay? Many of you are holding on to something or someone that no longer serves many of you. Okay? And that's why I'm getting hangman because you're not getting anywhere. Okay, you're pretty much self sabotaging yourself because there's no growth in it. And you being with an individual like that, they can sabotage you because many of you are not letting go from these people or this situation that no longer serves you. Okay, and you knows who you are. Next, we have spiritual union, Cancer. Upward, this speaks about someone you have a bond with. It can be a family member, it can be that parent, that spouse, the children, your siblings. It can be, a best friend, a childhood friend. But whomever this individual is to many of you, there's lack of harmony, or there will be lack of harmony. It can be due to a separation, a disagreement, a fight. It can be due to transitioning. Any one of them could, pass away due to transitioning. But anyway, what's still out to me is separation. I'm just gonna say it like that, okay? But for many of you, you're gonna be experiencing this new year, some kind of um. Let me just say this: that bond that you once had with an individual, it's gonna be broken in some kind of way. I'm just saying it like that, okay? All right, next Cancer, we have the heart chakra card. Upper represents I love, and also to let you know that your heart chakra is open. Many of you, you're saying, I don't love something, or I don't love someone, or a situation, okay? And then many of you, you're closing up your heart chakra. It needs to be open. But due to life situations, circumstances, it can have you feeling like this, I don't love. Many of you, this new year, you're going to be making moves behind the scenes. You have a decision to make, and you also have a choice to make. And look at that. You have a lot of options. So you're looking at all your options, which door you want to go through. So this is going to be many of you this new year, Cancer, looking at all of your options. And you're going to go through one of those doors. Next, Cancer. This card is upside down. This is victory and success. This speaks about good news that follows a difficult period in many of your life. Now, many of you will receive some good news that's going to follow a difficult period, but many of you won't be receiving any good news. Okay, many of you are still going through the motion. You still dealing with some challenges. But once you overcome these challenges and let those things go that no longer serve you, okay, many of you are going to be experiencing this victory and success. Okay, some good news, you're going to be receiving due to, that's going to follow from feeling, I'm sorry, that's going to follow due to a difficult period. All right. But many of you right now, you're still going through the motions. You're still dealing with some challenges. I apologize when my voice kind of slurred. I think my energy's starting to die down a little bit because I was energetic. I had more energy earlier because this right here, this can be very energetically draining. Let me just say that. So I'm going to just slow down a little more, not rush so much, okay? Next card, Cancer, is upside down. This is material and spiritual prosperity. But many of you, you do have material and spiritual prosperity. Many of you are balanced in this area, but many of you are not. Okay. When it comes to material and spiritual, many of you value one more than the other. Many of you probably chasing that money. How do they say make the money, but don't let the money make you? Many of you are not balanced in this area. And many of you have one more than the other. Remember this right here? Where is it? Hold up. Yeah. Remember this card right here? Many of you are in stagnation. You're in an old cycle. Next is upside down, Cancer. This speaks about relationships. For many of you, this is harmony when it's upward. For many of you, lack of harmony. Just depends on who this individual is to you, or it could be, a spouse. It can be, that lover, okay, platonic. But whatever this means to you, many of you are gonna be falling out with somebody this new year, and it's probably happened already. Only you would know that to be true, okay? Many of you are gonna be experiencing this. This is heartache and loss. This is holding on to, pain, experiencing grief due to a loss this new year. And many of you are going to be releasing it. Okay. Because, anytime, you feel like that, it can really affect you in such a crazy way. It can have you depressed, you know, uh, it have you when you're not focused. I mean, I hate that feeling. I hate that feeling. So I get it. But many of you are going to be releasing this new year. Okay. So you can move forward. All right. This is many of you. It's upside down, Cancer. This is the third eye chakra. Upper represents I see. Especially when it comes to a situation that you're in the dark about. Many of you, are operating in I see. Okay. You see what's going on. You're operating clarity. Many of you are in the dark about something. Many of you are not receiving clarity about someone or situation. Okay. And lastly, is upside down, Cancer. This is positive movement forward. Whatever this means to many of you, okay? There will be no positive movement forward in this situation. I think about this right here. I think about this right here. And when it comes to this, I think about family, okay? Family or that friend. When it comes to this, I think about, your love interest, okay? That girlfriend, that boyfriend. There will be no positive movement forward. And I know many of you probably trying to do your best to try to solve the problem. But a lot of times we make matters worse. We really do. How do they say let go and let go? And it's hard for us to do, but energy cannot be forced. Energy cannot be forced. So how do they say go with the flow? Okay, Cancer. Lastly, I'm going to use the angel answer oracle. Pause this video real quick. Think about your current situation, any answers that you are seeking. If you are expecting to hear from somebody, set your attentions when it comes to that. If you want to know when, someone's going to call you, or, is this the right person, that I should be with, set your attention on what you are believing for. Remember, this is a collective reading. Okay, Cancer, let's get with it. Collective reading for Cancer. Collective reading for Cancer. Collective reading for Cancer. Collective reading for Cancer. Okay, Cancer. Here are your messages for this new year. The angels are answering your Question. In the near future, this is for somebody. In the near future, this is your answer. Will I get married in the near future? Okay. For many of you, peaceful resolution. So if you have been in conflict with anybody, okay, there should be a peaceful resolution in this situation. Excuse me. Next, I have don't stop. Many of you feel like giving up. Your angels are saying do not stop. Keep moving. Keep going. Don't give up. But many of you ask your angels. So not only pray, meditate also. But before you meditate, ask your angels, whatever it is that you are believing for, okay? And then meditate and get still, quiet your mind, shut this world off so you can get your answers, okay? And you will get it. Synchronicity, it might be that song you might hear, you might turn your TV on YouTube, or somebody might, be doing a video, and you can get your answers through that. You just never know how you're going to get those answers, but you're going to get them. Or, you might be walking and might see a feather on the ground, but you're going to get those answers, okay? For many of you, if you've been expecting to hear from somebody, or waiting on a just whatever it means to you. For many of you, within the next few weeks, okay, within the next few weeks, that's your answer. Within the next few weeks. So if you was expecting to hear from somebody, for many of you, within the next few weeks. All right, for many of you, your answer is look for a sign. And I just mentioned feathers, okay? That lets me know that I'm on the right track. When I'm outside walking, I come across a feather. It might be a white feather, a gray feather, and their colors are very significant. They have different meanings. Look for a sign. All right, for many of you, choose a new direction. So this can be due to a job, career, whatever this means to you. Choose a new direction this new year. All right, Cancer. For many of you, remain positive. This is so important because as long as you keep thinking negative, you're going to get more of it. Okay? So many of you got to renew your mind, make a slight adjustment so things can be in your favor. Remain positive. For many of you, get more information. Okay? For many of you, get more information, Cancer. Especially when somebody's telling you something. Don't just go by what they say. Get more information. I think about when people be gossiping, don't just assume anything. Get more information. Because you want clarity. For many of you, it's up to you. When it comes to this so-called choice that you want to make, it's up to you. All right, the spirit is saying trust. So many of you need to, build your faith up. For many of you, wow, this is good, Cancer. Improving health. So if many of you have been feeling good, keep the faith now. Trust, improving health this new year. For many of you, if you believe, that's right. You gotta have faith if you believe. For many of you, reconsider. So I think about if you're thinking about leaving a job, or you think about taking on a new project, when it comes to your relationships, whatever this means to many of you, Spirit is saying reconsider. And see, everything's about timing, okay? There's a season for everything, but whatever this means to many of you, the Spirit is saying reconsider. And lastly, meditation brings the answer. Yes, indeed. So many of you, if you don't practice meditation, I would suggest you practice meditation. It's all about quieting your mind, shutting this world off, and just you and God. And you go in meditation to receive answers, but always set your intentions first before you meditate. Set your intentions first, or that which the answer that you are seeking, and then go in meditation. Start off at least 20 minutes. I don't like to put limits on meditations, but at least do about good 20 or 30 minutes of it. And you might not hear anything, you might not see anything, but just going about your merry way as though you have received your answers. And before you know it, things are just going to be coming to you. Maybe you might have an epiphany, you know, or you might see your answers. As I stated earlier, you're watching TV, or somebody might be talking, and you might get those answers. Or the fact that you came to me, okay, many of you are getting your answers. But it's a collective reading. Things have to play out. But anyway, meditation brings the answers for many of you. All right, Cancer family, I wish you all the best this new year. This video, as I stated, I'm going to leave it up for the remaining of 2023. So feel free to come back, watch it as much as you like. And remember, all these messages are not pertaining to all of you. So, okay, so don't take it personally now. Anything that you saw here that you didn't like, just don't receive it. But you can't say that you didn't see it. Come back, watch it over again, and let things play out. Now, many of you are currently experiencing a lot of these, messages that had came out. Feel free to let your sister know, okay? And definitely, give me a thumbs up. And if you don't want to say anything, just give me a thumbs up. That lets me know you're resonating with the message, okay? Because you know what's presently going on with you. And remember, the future cannot, the past cannot be changed, but the future can, because nothing is set in stone. Everything's about how you're moving forward from this day forward. Okay, you're either going to continue to be going in circles to nowhere. Okay, or you're going to continue to be operating in ignorance, not use your intuition, or you're going to stay stuck. And many of you choose to stay stuck for whatever reason. You know, for many of you, it comes to these relationships. Even though they're dishing out, giving you what you don't want, you staying in a relationship for whatever reason. So I wish the best for many of you. Life is all about experiences and growth. And I'm here if you need me. I do readings, privately as well. So this was a labor of love. So much love to you, Cancer. I love you. Have an awesome the rest of 2023. Be safe and bye for now.